Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. You know, we're so lucky that each week we now have a spotlight on mental health here on Good Morning Vail. And here to tell us a little bit more about the new wellness campus in Cordillera, All Points North Lodge, is Lana Seiler. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
And breaking news, you are the Director of Trauma Services at the Lodge, which is amazing. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But, you know, we have something in common, Lana. We are both Florida girls living in Vail. And so when did you get out here?
We moved here at the end of August.
Okay, the end of August. So being from Florida, I know for me, like that was a huge adjustment. So
Huge.
what's been your favorite part of being out here so far?
Oh my God, so much. It's beautiful. I had no idea what, the earth looked like, not flat,
Right.
I mean, I wake up every morning and look out my window and it's just incredible and amazing.
Right.
So
It's
yeah.
so beautiful. And
Yeah.
then,
and
getting
snow,
Right.
gorgeous.
So
Yeah.
different, a little
So-
different than the beach sand. I mean, we see some white sand, but it's a little bit different.
Very, yeah.
And then coming out here, I mean, did you have to like moving trucks, like whole thing?
Yeah, we drove out here in a 16-foot moving truck, half full of plants.
Half pulled plants. Okay, tell me about these plants. Tell me, because I am a killer of plants. Let's just be honest. Like they don't stand a chance with me.
I love plants. We moved out here and, I have like 2 6-foot fiddly figs and probably about 50 plants altogether. And I just couldn't stand to leave them at
That's
home.
amazing.
I love them. And
my
so they
gosh.
came with us.
And are they doing okay in the altitude? and the
Surprisingly, we only had a couple casualties.
Okay, that's
Very
pretty
different
good.
climate. So yeah,
Right.
lots
Look
of
at you.
humidifiers.
Lots of humidifiers. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, so you're adjusting to life in Vail, and being the Director of Trauma Services, how is it that you got into the mental health field? I mean, that sounds like a pretty big job.
Well, I got into mental health actually through yoga.
Really?
Yeah, I did a yoga teacher training in New York City in about 2008, and I watched a somatic experiencing demonstration during that training, and I was sold instantly. I knew that somatic experiencing is a form of trauma therapy, and I knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that really, that sparked everything.
That was it, and then I started reading everything I could get my hands on, and eventually went back to graduate school, and here I am.
And now here you are. And so how is it that All Points North Lodge is a little bit different than maybe some other, rehab facilities, and, focusing on trauma? I feel like that's not something that I typically hear about when I hear about rehab facilities.
Yeah, so honestly, the field of trauma has come a long way, and I think a lot of places are starting to recognize the importance of trauma therapy. All Points North Lodge is different in a lot of ways. One of the differences is that there's a lot that we have to offer. It's a big campus. We're offering different types of therapies that may not be accessible, like deep TMS. We're partnering with some people in the community who do neurofeedback and biofeedback. We're going to offer somatic experiencing. We have just a wide array of services, and we really want to stay in touch with our patients for the rest of their lives. I mean,
Wow.
that I worked in a lot of treatment centers, and even with a really good discharge plan, sort of just like, okay, well, we're glad to be able to treat you, and now good luck, And
Right.
All Points North Lodge really, I mean, that's one of the things that sold me to come out here, was that they're committed, to
Right.
following through with patients for as long as they need us, and coming back to check in and coming back for a tune-up. And I just love that because, I always had a hard time. And part of this is maybe my own stuff, but I always had a hard time when patients would discharge, and it's just like hoping that they're going to be okay and wondering what happened,
Right.
after we get close with people, when you work with them. And so I just love that idea of being able to maintain that connection.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's really a testament to the fact that you moved your whole life here to be the Director of Trauma Services. I'm so excited to learn more about you and
Yeah.
about all of these different programs. And of course, we're out of time. So, Lana, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you.
if people want to learn a little bit more about All Points North, you can go to apnlodge.com. You can ask questions. You can find out about the different programming and see if maybe it's a right fit for you or your family, or maybe you just have some questions. But apnlodge.com. Up next, we're going to send things outside with Michelle for her first chair adventure.